I'm Louisa Duval.
And I'm Sharyn Swanepoel.
And together we are Pages and Pjs.
I like my books on the sweet side.
I like mine a little bit spicier.
But we both like to read.
In bed with books. Welcome back. This is part 2 of our 2025 top reads. I want to do 5 top reads. I'm a little lax when it comes to romance maths and have managed to shove a few more books in there, even though Sharyn you gave me quite strict guidelines and I chose to ignore those. I love that for us. More books got shoved into our top reads for last year for very good reasons. Now, listeners and viewers, you may also notice, listeners not so much, but viewers are going to take note that there's a little bit of costume change in between intros and the actual recordings. So follow us for the books, stick around for the fashion tips and the costume changes. I hope you're going to enjoy our chat for our remaining books, and we're very curious to know how many of these ended up on your list as well. What are we up to?
4. All right. This is another, I think she's actually local Melbourne as well, because Emma's Melbourne. This is Better Than the Real Thing by Brooke Crawford.
Oh, this is on my TBR. I got to find a copy. Yes, you've been in my ear about Brooke's book. Yeah.
So this it's promoted as being Notting Hill meets Bridget Jones' Baby. But basically it's like a Melbourne teacher is staring down the barrel of her 40th birthday with months worth of negative pregnancy tests, her relationship's in the bin, and a mortgage she can't afford, so things aren't going well. She finds the childhood diary of a notoriously private celebrity musician. We're going to call him Mo. And he's desperate to get that book back. So he actually says, I will pay you, because he doesn't want to trust the mail or whatever. He needs it back, so he pays her to bring it back. He's in London, so he pays for her to bring it to him in London. And she needs the money because she wants to use it to do IVF. So there's a couple of things. First of all, I love a celebrity romance in any form whatsoever. So music, rock stars, whatever. Yes, 100% me. So I love a celebrity romance. But this one is also, it was interesting because there's like the whole element of like she's basically now just turned single and 40. I mean, that's me 10 years ago. Like, that was literally, say 13 years ago, but literally in the same sort of scenario. So it's an interesting thing to look back and remember that time. So I think I could relate to that and the things that she was going through at that time as well. But my review says this one goes straight to my top 5. Honestly, I love a celebrity story, especially a troubled, tattooed rocker with the heart of gold. So you had me from the start, but this was more than I expected. I love that the main characters were around the age 40 and experiencing relatable life challenges. The whole cast of characters were great too, except for the douchebag exes, of course. There's some swoon moments, laugh out loud moments, and some spice. There's also some very emotional moments, which is my thing. It's been a long time since I read a book that's kept me up half the night, and on a school night at that, because I had to keep reading. So this was also a dilemma because I didn't want it to end. So, straight to my top 5.
I'm doing a jazz hands now for where I'm up to in 2025, a reading journey with Lou. This is the second book I hinted at earlier. So along with Renee's, Jodi McAlister's An Academic Affair is in a safe place away from paint trays and rollers and drop sheets right now. And it broke my heart that I couldn't find you both, ladies. But look, yay, editing skills. It's going to go there for the cover. I have to preface why I love this with my background. I've worked for 4 universities up here in southeast Queensland, and as a result of the 4 universities I've worked for, I have made a pledge almost in blood that I will never work in tertiary education ever again, for various reasons. So for me to pick up something that's called an academic affair, that it's a workplace romance between people who work in tertiary education at universities and their lecturers, there was a barrier there already. And it's like, Jodi, what did you do where you've got me, like, just championing me? I can't even say that word. Showcasing, loving, utterly adoring the joy that is academic affair. And I think there's this absolutely exquisite, sexy scene. Things are getting on between our two academics, finally. She brings this lovely burn between them. And she does the slutty little glasses trope, and she does her own spin on that with the hero. And it's so well done when things are getting hot and they're finally getting sexy. So, Jodi, it was utterly exquisite. I loved it. And again, career counsellor and the workplace romance, the conflict was real. It wasn't just that she was in accounting and he was the bad boy in marketing. It wasn't like, it was a real issue. And I really felt like they'll either end up homeless or destitute if they both solve the workplace romance issue. And I think Jodi really brought that, the reality of the grit that it is working in tertiary education, but it was still a romance and it was a HEA, and she utterly delivered. Like, exquisite. Loved it. I bow to Jodi. Professor McAlister, I think. Actually, I think she's just actually become a prof.
Confession.
Or I've made that up. I don't know. Do you want to be a professor, Jodi? You are now a professor. There. Boom. I anoint you. That's me knighting someone with my fingers at the camera.
So my confession, I have that on my TBR as well, have not read. So
you are going to love.
Bumping it up on my to-do list.
Yep.
Okay. Deal.
Yes,
and I have actually seen quite a few people say that that's in their top reads of 2025.
Yeah,
so,
I've been seeing that being in like the stacks that people have been sharing. Yeah, utterly delightful. So
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
adding to that. So yes, I do have that on my list.
All right,
okay.
We're in your top three. This is bronze, silver, gold now.
This is top three. All right.
Podium books. All right.
Podium books. Okay, let me preface this. You know I love a Christmas romance because we've written a number of them. And as soon as it's getting close enough to Christmas, I'm like, right, it's time. They're coming out, and I'm just like reading Christmas. So this is A Merry Irish Christmas. And
what's this book?
I should have Googled how to pronounce her name. But
is it slightly Gaelic?
It's looks to me like you'd say it's Clodagh. Clodagh.
Oh.
So I have no idea. Anyway, I apologise in advance.
My husband learns Irish Gaelic.
Oh, really?
Hang on. Do we do a little spot check here on how to do it? How do you spell it?
Clodagh.
I should know how to say this too. Hang on a second. Hey, Rob. Robert. Robert. Mr. Duval is coming. You're live now on Pages and Pjs. All right, we're going to do a spelling. He's off camera. We're going to do the spelling of an Irish name because Sharyn has just admitted her top three, her bronze book for 2025. She can't pronounce the Irish Gaelic name. All right, spell it for me, Sharyn.
Clodagh.
How would you pronounce that?
Clodagh.
Oh,
Clodagh.
Are you kidding? Is it actually pronounced the way it looks? Is this a first in Irish Gaelic?
Could be. I think it's well.
Get out of the room. All right, bye. I thought it'd be like, Kaylee or something, but it's not.
Yeah, I know. Because you look at those names and you're like...
Siobhan.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
It's Zoe. He comes out with something completely different. Maybe it is
anyway,
clever. I don't know.
Maybe. And I had meant to do that when I actually put my list together and, of course, forgot. Anyway, So this
But
is
are
the
you,
funny
as a little
lighthearted.
aside, like, are you reading this as a paperback, or was this audio? This wasn't an audio one for you then, so you're just reading the
No,
name.
this is an ebook.
Yeah. So, do you even
and it was
need to
a
know? Are you like a person who needs to know how it's said? Like, I
no.
just kind of make up a little white noise if I can't figure it
Yeah.
out, but I just word recognize. So
Yeah, same. I
we'll
just go blah blah blah.
just say
Yeah.
heroine, because I think we're
Yeah.
going to absolutely butcher this poor woman. And
Oh,
yeah,
so she's the author. She's not the character. The character, thank God, her name is Mary.
ah,
Yay!
size in Australian English. Okay.
So Mary hasn't told. I love this concept just straight up. So Mary hasn't told her family she's coming home for Christmas. Surprise! And can I just say, maybe I love this because we've done this. My family has done this before. Surprise, because we lived in Queensland. My rest of my family was in Victoria, and on more than one occasion we've sort of surprise, we're here. Anyway, so Mary hasn't told her family she's coming.
The audacity of this.
Yes. After breaking up with her boyfriend just before holidays, she decides to surprise them and get a last-minute flight home. But when she arrives in Ireland after a long journey, she discovers her family have had the same idea and they've gone to New York to surprise her. Surprise!
Ha, that's karma, that is.
So, but to make matters worse or better, they've done a house swap with a grumpy but sexy New Yorker named Evan, who makes it clear he doesn't want her or her Christmas cheer around. Da-da-da! So this was amazing. This is, yeah, 100%.
Sorry, Irish author, that we have completely butchered your name and shown our ignorance on our part, because we only do word recognition if it's written on the page. And my husband was no good. All that Irish language lessons he's been doing, useless.
Exactly. But the book was amazing, and I'll read you my review.
Yeah.
My first Christmas read of the season, and a fab one at that. This grabbed me from the first page. A super cute, sweet romance with a grumpy celebrity, a bit of forced proximity, and an Irish setting with lots and lots of LOLs and some swoon-worthy moments. Warm and cozy, just like Christmas should be. All the stars from me. It was amazing. Yes.
Love it.
So definite grumpy sunshine is just, oh my God, it was epic.
Oh, I love that trope. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and at Christmas. So
Might be a year-round Christmas read for me. I am intrigued. Might need to have a look at that one. I'm still in August. Now, I'm going to show two books, two Aussie authors, because I transitioned at the end of August into spooky season, because your Halloween books come out end of August.
Yeah.
But I had more Melbourne authors, actually all just dominating Victorians. Holly Brunnbauer, her trad debut, What Did I Miss? She delivered again something that was a career crisis, personal crisis kind of story. In education, I've just worked in education, secondary education, that is, high school teachers. This was a delight. I really loved your debut, Holly. I still think about things of how you tackled it and how you delivered on this book. It also has a bonus Mustang, and I think that needs to be highlighted. So a little bit like Emma, it had croissants. You know, you had me at croissants. Holly, you had me at the vintage Mustangs. This was an utterly lovely book and delightful read. Well done, you. And at the same time...
quick confession, that is also on my TBR pile, and I have a physical copy of that one as well.
Well...
continue.
My noise of it just went up on your TBR pile. Another Aussie author. Now we're going to New South Wales. Melbourne, you're not dominating the list anymore. Look at the sprayed edges that I'm covering up. One moment. Such good visual work, such good camera work here. Look at it. And there's a gradient going from purple to green, and then it goes black, and then it's blue on that side. Ghosted by Amy Hutton. This actually just warmed my heart because it got into the hero doing true crime, spooky, paranormal podcast, and filming and recording paranormal activity in spooky houses. So, if you've ever been ghost hunting tragic, this is so good for that sort of stuff. And she's a psychic. Sort of. Anyway, that's the best way to describe that her ability. And it's a second chance at love, but also reunion. And yeah, there's lovely fruit in here. Great spooky subplot as well. This was a fantastic Halloween read. You knocked it out of the park, Amy. This had me primed for my spooky reading season. Yeah. And I'm so glad I managed to track down the trophy book edition with the sprayed edges. Yeah.
Okay, sort of confession. I do have a copy of that, but only as an ebook. I don't have the pretty cover.
So you don't get the little cute ghosts.
No, I should. I
You
should go
should read
track.
it.
I should go. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Your TBR. My God.
I know.
There we go. Another
Yeah.
one.
I know.
All right.
That's
Where are
yes.
silver medal? Silver medal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing a bit of a theme here, which I have mentioned before. So anyway, this one is called Dating Dr. Love, and it's by Rachel Dove, who I don't know. I have never read anything by her before, but this is one that I discovered on NetGalley. It's my jam.
Where is she from?
Amazing.
OS or is she
Yes.
a local?
No, she's not local.
OS.
Yeah.
Do we know where in the world Rachel Dove resides?
No, but I should find out because I would love to interview her because this book, oh my God, this is amazing. This is amazing.
Pitch it to me.
It's
How
just
good
so much fun. Okay.
Yep.
So Dr. Chloe Henry is a no-nonsense surgeon gunning for a promotion. All that stands in the way is her smug colleague, Dr. Jonathan Carson, who's beloved by the board for his charm and for simply being a man. When a one-week medical conference promises her chance to shine, Chloe packs a power suit and a determination ready to crush it, or at least avoid strangling Carson. Enter Logan Broderick, aka Dr. Dante Love, TV's hottest and most medically inaccurate neurosurgeon / plastic surgeon.
I love him already.
After yet another scandal involving booze, starlets, and bad decisions, Logan's sent to the same hotel to lay low. Things get awry when Logan...
I love this.
Logan and Chloe... Yeah, I love it. Logan and Chloe literally crash into each other, half naked, in her bathroom. Cue viral chaos. To save face, Logan proposes that they fake date. She's the real doctor to his fake one. He's the PR boost she needs, or she didn't want. But as bickering turns to banter and sparks fly, Chloe wonders, can Dante Love save her? Now, I mean, I don't even know if I'm going to still say my review, but I don't even know if I need to. It's got everything. It's got, it's got my celebrity for starters.
Yes.
I know. She's the uptight, like, I'm the professional here, and he's the, like, whatever. But,
chill out, lady, kind of.
But I'll just, where I put my review, hang on. Which is this another piece of paper that I've dropped? Come on, where's my first page? 1, 2, 3, 4. My review. Oh, okay.
The pages. And we're
I
back.
found it. And we're back. Fake dating and TV star MMC are my auto buys, so I always knew I was going to love this one. The banter was so much fun, and I love banter. It's got the best banter, particularly because she's like, "Oh, you're terrible, and I'm a professional." But I also enjoyed the way Logan defended Chloe and helped her stand up for herself, because that was a really beautiful moment as well, because she's sort of feeling like she's not one of the, one of the guys, literally one of the guys at work. So he helps her. So I love that. Also love that he called her Wildcat. Like, it brings out another side of her she didn't know as well. But and this is not a spoiler, but it's one of my favourite parts in the whole book. I love even more the name of her actual cat. So, just to give a little bit of insight here, when they first meet at the beginning, she says she doesn't watch your show, right? She's like, I don't watch your show, it's crap, I would never watch that show. But what you already know is that it's her favourite show. And she has named her cat after his character. Right? So there's a scene where it's no, because you know all along, because she talks about her cat. You know the cat's name. But I think that's the thing. It's the same with most romances. You know they're going to end up at a happy ending, but you're just like, how are they going to negotiate this thing? And it's just
the
like,
how, isn't it?
It's the how, but it just like, because she said all along, I never watched your show, but he's going to find out that she does. But it's honestly, it's the best.
That's so
but
good.
that is one of my, like, just reading that whole scene, you just have such a bubble of joy because you know what's going to happen, and you just can't wait for that thing to happen. And when it happens, you're just like, oh my god, that's amazing. Anyway, there's lots of other LOLs.
Giving this breakdown.
I love this book so much, and I can still, all right. I'm still picturing that time. But the feels were there too. Like, I cried as well. Yes. So I laughed like a giddy little schoolgirl, but I also cried. And to finish off my review, I just said, love, 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 dating Dr. Love. Like, yeah. So, yes, highly, highly recommend. Amazing.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
Yes.
My next one was still in the spooky, but was into October. That is the spooky season. I'm glad I know my calendar as well. But I'm doing, because I'm a rogue unit, I'm counting all 3 books of the Emily Wilde's books by Heather Fawsett as my one read, because I smashed these out back to back. I had a 2-week wait because I refused to get, like, they're all the B format that I managed to buy. And I could not find the B format. I could probably have got the original release, the trade, 9x6 size. But I was desperate. It was like I was humming, thinking about these books day and night for 10 to 14 days that I had to wait for the B format to come out. I didn't even wait for QBD, my local one, to text me that it arrived. I was in there that day going, where is it? Just give it to me in exchange for money. This is paranormal in so much as, how you say paranormal and then there's just like, but there's so much difference within that huge genre. Paranormal romance, but it's the fae. And, oh my God, it's academia again. But it's like 1912 academia.
Oh, okay.
And they're all in the department of dryology. I got to say this word probably, dryadology, where they're studying the fae. So their whole department is, studying fairy. And
cool.
They all go on research trips, and Heather Fawsett just sort of takes what I loved about Academic Affair, about how serious it was with your lectures and your publishing schedule and whatever your research topic was too that you may have been involved in with those characters by Jodi McAlister. But Heather jams that into 1912 sort of looking at university. They're all at Cambridge, I believe, and flips that on its ahead. It's hilarious, the sort of ridiculous things. It's sort of Terry Pratchett-like in terms of the unseen university, to my Terry Pratchett fans who are there. But I'm not spoiling anything. We all know that Bamblebee, her rival lecturer, is a fae prince, and it's on the blurb. You go in knowing you're going to find that out, so I'm not spoiling nothing for anybody. He is utterly a delight. He is the golden retriever mixed with a chocolate lab, of the Fae world, and he is utterly, totally besotted, and I don't even think he quite knows why, enamored with her. And she is the trope around the super plain librarian. And in fact, everyone's an unreliable narrator. Like, I actually don't know objectively the heroine in terms of her physical appearance. Is she utterly plain like a potato sack, a Hessian bag? Or is she utterly stunning and completely unaware of her presence? She definitely knows she's not fashionable. And there's something that's lovely that it's not said, but it's brought to the page across 3 books that she's definitely on the spectrum. She has the same brown dress cut the same way, and she has to have it a certain fabric. There's all these sensory things that are going on for her. She's always journaling, and she's not quite sure why Bumblebee wants to always hang out with her, that kind of thing.
Yep.
And she's always looking at him going, you're tragically beautiful. Like, he is underwear model stunning. Because he's a Fae prince, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Of course he is. And he is utterly into fashion too, but we're doing it through the 1912 lens, and it's wonderful. I can really tell that Heather Fawsett is an absolute fairy tale tragic. She knows so much about the academia of fairy tale. I actually don't know anything about Heather. At all as an author, other than she's written these books. And there's a part of me that just wants to go, I need to know everything about you, including your pet names, what you had for breakfast, because we're going to be besties. So, yeah, this is cottagecore. It's beautiful. It's sexy as well. And there's great representation. And it utterly consumed me. And every now and again I find myself thinking about it. So that's just not a book wreck. The Emily Wilde series by Heather Fawsett is a series wreck. I know I'll reread it. And postscript, Heather brought to the page a new interpretation of Touch Her and Die, because we think the Golden Retriever is just this bounding bundle of joy and galumphing around the place. But when our heroine needs a saviour, we are utterly reminded that we're dealing with the Fae, and that they are unpredictable and violent. And I just sat there going, I utterly endorse every folk thing he is doing right now, and we loved him for it. So I actually don't want to say what it is, because it's something where you're just like, whoa, this is Touch Her and Die. And like Heather went, I'm going to do a spinal tap. We're going to go to 11 on the dial of what we can do here with that microtrope. So it was utterly amazing. So yes, that's Bring It In for me. There. She swaps her books to the other side of her disaster home off camera. Your gold medal podium book.
Gold medal. Okay, so let me just... I'll give a little bit of an intro. It's an Australian author.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I met her once before. I think this was right around the time where I wanted to be a writer, but I hadn't been doing the writing thing, if that makes sense. Or, either that or very early on. It was in Brisbane.
Yeah.
And it was for a very earlier book than this one. This one is also...
Maybe I don't know.
It's a little bit historical, a little bit modern day as well.
Okay, yeah.
No,
Reveal the book.
Reveal.
Drum roll. Gold medal book is...
3 Juliets by Minnie Darke.
Oh, okay. This is new to me.
Yes, it is amazing. Okay, and can I just say, you will love this book. Like, I know, just because of some of the things that you've written in the past, you will love this book. It's not a romance.
All right. Okay. Oh, wait, what?
Okay,
wait, what?
so 3 dresses, 3 daughters, 1 search. In 1980, designer Claudie Miller is a household name. Girls are begging their mothers to make them her famous dress, the Juliet. But there's a big hole in Claudie's life. 16 years ago, she was forced to give up her baby for adoption. Now she's in a race to track her daughter down before it's too late. So I won't read the whole blurb, but the concept of the story is you have Claudie, who is ill and is now trying to track down the baby that she was made to give away. Now, that story was set in 1972. So it's kind of my era, birth era. So it kind of had a lot of relevance for me as far as that goes, because it's sort of going back to those times.
Yeah.
But you also have the modern day. So this, well, when I say modern, it's 1980. So you have the 3 girls who were all turning 16 on the same day. So you find their stories, and they're all 3 different families, like very different families, and you know that they're all adopted. So you know one of them is the daughter, but you don't know all the way along which one is the daughter, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So it's her journey because she finds out through her connections, Claudie finds out through her connections, these 3 girls' names. She shouldn't be able to find out, but she's given these names. So she does what she can to try and find them. But I think it's just, well, I'll read my review. Oh, my heart. I don't even know how to describe this book other than to say, find yourself a quiet place away from the world and prepare to want to read this book from start to finish. Bring snacks and tissues. You're going to need them. I've read quite a few books this year that I've rated 5 stars, but this one goes to the top of the list. Perfection. So that was my review when I read it, and I still stand by this. It was amazing. Just one of the things I think you'll love about it is there's so Claudie works for a women's magazine and does a lot of the fashion side of things. So again, a little bit like I get kind of the celebrity, but also the fashion side of things, which is another area I've also worked in the past. So I had a bit of interest in that, like working magazines and newspapers, but also the fashion side as well.
Yeah.
So I just loved the whole thing, but it was just so well done. Just such a good, heartbreaking, and it's a sign of the times of the days gone by, where people weren't allowed to keep their children. They didn't get given that choice. Yeah. So it's also a reminder of the times as well, and even when you just look at these 3 different children that were adopted by 3 different families and the 3 different ways they were raised, because one knows, one doesn't know, and I can't remember what the third one is. Maybe she knows and doesn't care. Anyway, there's 3 different situations as far as the 3 girls go as well. It's just such a beautiful story. If you like Australian sort of stories of any kind, it's a little bit of Australian history, but it's also a history. It's the same. It wasn't just in Australia that did this. It was, the world over.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
So I think you would love it, particularly with the magazine-y sort of elements to it as well. But there's one thing that as you go along, one of the things that she does as part of her job that you're probably 3/4 of the way through when the penny drops as to why. And I think that just makes it all the more beautiful but heartbreaking and just like, oh my God, like just, yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
That got added. That's going to become the soundbite for another one's been added to the pile.
Yes.
All right. I feel like inadvertently I've got a second place, but it's not really. But I'm again hinting at what's been the thing that's actually just been stratospheric for me. But standout Christmas read with a short disclaimer here, because I was highly anticipating Georgia Moore's Christmas release, bought the paperback, did all the things. And I just want to do a shout out to my family who forgot to tell me her book arrived. So it's now on the 2026. Yeah, I know, right? I know. And we won't forget. I might not even forgive. So it's been added now to my 2026 reading pile. And I harbour a grudge against all of my family. So just, yeah, because I think there's going to be some things that'll be on my 2026 list that came out the year before, because I'll be saving them up. But this BK Borison, everyone might know Love Light Farms, even if you haven't read it. That was extremely popular last year. I've got that on my TBR. And look at the gorgeous sprayed edges. Love Heart candy canes. The candy canes are actually something relevant to the plot. Good Spirits was incredibly sexy, beautiful, tearjerkery kind of stuff wrapped up in a delicious Christmas novel. There's things that you were going to love about it, because it's also sort of got a split timeline, but there's a little bit of a lovely sprinkling of paranormal magic realism, magic, bling, and it all makes sense. And I kind of love it. And this is one of those as well that was a standalone novel, but right at the end, it's like, well, actually, if you liked those hints of secondary characters in my story, I'm going to be doing more with them and more around the background. And I'm not going to reveal the background. I think there's going to be some delightful things that BK is going to bring to the table. Close, or maybe even on the podium with her, was her first time caller. You are going to love this because it's a radio station. So it's like, this is my workplace jam. Again, I'm sort of sitting here thinking about my ABC days going, I don't need the sexy with anyone at the ABC. This brought the real life grit of a community radio station, for that matter too. Actually, they're kind of commercial, but I also was wondering, this is being run on a hope and a prayer rather than even the smell of an oil rag. But it was the lovely late night show, two people connecting over the airways. It was lovely. First time caller was an utter delight. BK Borison is new to me this year. She's been someone I've kind of been stacking a few book purchases to read eventually, because the TBR is threatening to kill me if it topples over. And I'm so glad I devoured these two. It was so good. So, yeah. So shout out to BK. The reason... I haven't
seen that one, but the other one is on my... Yeah, I hadn't seen that one before, but the other one I have on my Kindle to read.
You just start. Just pick a BK Borison book, and I think you're going to be utterly delighted. I think I may even pass you the paperback just for a different format.
Deal.
I'll see you.
Yes.
Pretty soon. The other thing, though, I added, it was Christmas, so I actually did my book stack as throughout the year, the highlights, the books that live rent-free in my head. BK Borison, I just want to do a shout-out to her, has been an utter fangirl, hype girl, woo girl for an author that's on everyone's lips. And this is where my stratospheric book that came in last minute, just before Christmas, from Cat at Shelf Lovers here in Brisbane. And I don't even have the book of the series name, Heated Rivalry, but I just wanted to show Long Game. I've got all the other books here beside me because I gave to a friend only 2 days ago, not really thinking about the podcast recording I was doing on Saturday afternoon, but actually out of utter desperation, because I have read these books now 3 times. I finished my reread yesterday for The Long Game. And I am an utter mess over Heated Rivalry. I got to watch with Kat and a dear friend in Kat's living room, and we saw it on her enormous big screen, and we just binged it, 6 episodes all at once. And if I just want to do a plea, a rallying call, like the internet is doing in all of our algorithms right now. If you haven't read the series, the Game Changer series, if you haven't read Heated Rivalry and The Long Game, do yourself a favour. Get it into you and let it utterly wreck your heart. Buy lots of tissue boxes and just comfort food, because it'll wreck you. And it's utterly delicious, and it is beautiful. There's the HEA, the Happy for Now of Heated Rivalry book, beautiful. And The Long Game is its sequel, and it actually ends the series of 6 books. And really, the Game Changers books, when you get to the end, you realise it's a huge long story that explains the 2 characters that are in, Shane and Ilya, of the series that have just dropped from Canada.
Yes.
So thank you to Crave, thank you HBO Max who picked it up. It is so beautiful, Sharyn. Yeah.
And I see they've already announced that they're going to...
Yeah.
I see they've already announced season 2.
Yeah. Thank God. Apparently they've got 2 more seasons. So even on my reread, after I've read this, I'm like, okay, this is what the lovely thing is. I'm reading it to get wrecked again. I just want my heart to go on that trusted journey of we're going to get our HEA. But also reading it going, how are they going to adapt it? There's such wonderful dialogue between our 2 characters, and just top tier. The micro expressions, for me it was almost like trying to find the right frequency. So I've done a radio book, but I want to use that as the analogy. They were always sort of pushing and pulling each other to reach the same sort of stages in their affection and their devotion for each other, and their situationship versus a relationship, and being secret as well as versus closeted, and to be seen. And it is so beautiful. It is entirely sexy. I'm looking at you thinking there's probably more sexy on the page than what you're used to. But it's not gratuitous for that sake.
Yeah.
And everything about it enhances or intensifies their relationship. Yeah. And I think that's when romance is done so well, where every aspect of their relationship does that. They are real people as far as I'm concerned, because we all have them in our hearts and minds.
Yeah.
And I'm just loving as well the press and promo around the 2 actors who are the leads. So Connor Story, who plays Ilya, and Hudson Williams, who plays Shane Hollander. We also have rep on the page around autism. Shane is definitely autistic without having to just go, I am autistic. It's actually shown beautifully, and his development as a character across those books is done so well through that lens as well. And the patience and the utter devotion that Ilya has around Shane's idiosyncrasies, or what he needs to do, his rituals, the time he needs to process, all these sorts of things is delightful. Yeah. So just if you've heard the hype, anyone listening to this going, should I be bothered? This was totally new to me. I had Kat from Shelf Lovers. She's my gateway drug to a lot of romance series. Saying, how do you not know about this? And it's like, you underestimate the rock under which I reside. So, and it's top tier Canadian type referencing too. And I visited Canada 3 million years ago in 1999. I looked at your Canadian Odyssey so eagerly in 2025. And the author's from Nova Scotia, and there are Anne of Green Gables references. So get this into your eyeballs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorted.
Did you like that? And you're like, oh yeah, sexy, sure, ice hockey, whatever.
Yeah, I'm in.
And it's actually lovely how Rachel drops that in. Yeah.
Is the TV series set in Canada? Like, is it Canadian as well?
I call it Canadian.
Canadian?
Yes, they filmed. one might have done a deep dive, and some might call it a rabbit hole. And I've now downloaded the map of all the locations where one can do a tour of all the filming locations. There was one building that really particularly bugged me because there was something very familiar about it, even though I had not gone to Ontario, Toronto, Montreal, and Quebec since 1999, and I'm just staring at this building going, I've seen you before. I know you. You look so damn familiar. Turns out it wasn't. But it's got that sort of old school Ottawa, Ontario look, but a lot of it was filmed in Canada around Hamilton, which is in Ontario, close to the US border.
Yep.
And from memory, because I used to work with somebody at a school, ex-Canadian who went to university in Hamilton. So it was one of those weird sort of things of, I have a personal connection to there. And I heard a lot about that town talking to her when I was planning that trip. So, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
So no Nova Scotia, even though the author's from Nova Scotia, but being ice hockey fanatics, I feel like that's the greatest understatement I've said about these books. They've managed on a shoestring budget to recreate the fandom and the mania around ice hockey and how obsessive the fans are and that at that elite level of sport. So this is where I come in as a career counsellor. And I've been to Institute of Sport career counselling workshops, PDs I've always had sports scholarship excellence students at schools I've worked at and working with them as families, talking about what's the balance between the academic versus what they need to excel on the field or excel in their sport. So these are sort of conversations I've had where Ilya and Shane were when we first meet them.
Yeah,
so I was excited about that. You could have just replaced it with Vigoro, basketball, volleyball. It didn't matter. The sports scene wasn't the important bit, as we all know in sports romance.
Yes.
But what they did on screen so well is showed that fervour and the noise, how it all looked. Wherever they had to show something on ice, I actually really think they did it well. But it's about the relationship because it's a romance.
Yeah.
And their competitive nature too for a couple as being elite sports athletes.
Yes.
And top of their game. And they're constantly swapping the podium of being gold and silver medalists, essentially. Literally, as well as metaphorically for that. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So I could do a whole podcast on a career counsellor's view of reading these books.
Yeah.
Because, Rachel Reid just did it all brilliantly. And everything's just beautiful around it in terms of characterization. I read half of them before Christmas, and then there's 6 books, three before the end of 2025, and then Long Game was in 26, and I'm already calling it. That's going to be my top tier platinum level book of 2026. That's not saying anything about some of the releases we're so excited for this year. It's more that this has been a stratospheric, galactic, out of this world experience. Like, I'm not kidding. It has utterly taken over my personality. I've been dreaming extra scenes. No, not like that. It's not the sexy stuff. It's just more actual, this everyday vignette of the 2 characters. And I actually have to ask myself some mornings when I'd woken up, when I was in the midst of reading this the first time, did I just reimagine what the book was about? Did that actually scene happen on the page? What the hell am I doing? And that's why I even gave the first 2 books away, because I really am in danger of going, let's reread it a 4th time. I will be subscribing myself. We even bought a new TV in the sales because we did not have a smart enough TV to be able to do the subscription. And I just think it will be a comfort watch. Yeah, and it's a masterclass in terms, reading them has been a masterclass by Rachel Reid in terms of how do enemies become lovers who become happily ever after. It's so beautifully done. And what is the concept of rivalry? And I'm not giving anything away for a lot of our listeners, but they sort of realise, actually, has this all been just manufactured? Like, who told us we were rivals?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, who says
hate
so?
each other, kind of thing.
So, would you recommend? Sorry, would you recommend reading the books before you watch the series?
Okay. This, I think, is going to be... This is just getting so much chatter.
Yeah.
I did read them because I could not hang out any longer, because watching 3,000 reels a day of little snippets was driving me crazy.
Yes.
So I already had their faces of the actors in my head visualize. There's something about the way Rachel Reid writes that it's very easy as well to imagine this as a movie montage in your head as you read.
Okay.
Jacob Tierney, the director and producer, co-producer, he did such a magnificent job sticking to the source material, and that's where so much praise has come from Rachel Reid's fangirls. That's where most of the original reels, because this was done as a week-by-week drop, so people were just utterly destroyed when there's a black moment, pivotal scene. And you have to wait a week. Like, 2025, why am I waiting? Just give it to me. And it was done so well. So seeing the people sharing the annotated text as they were acting on a reel, I went, okay, I think I'm going to be in safe territory of just reading the books and seeing how they've interpreted what this would look like visually. And this is where the actors are going to excel, because Shane... with being autistic, the micro expressions, how he carries tension in his body, Hudson Williams just nails his characterization so well. And it's like some stuff that happens in their POV on the page, you see on screen without needing the words. There's this beautiful visual language through their bodies that you're like, amazing. So both will just enhance the other in no matter what order you do.
Yep.
So if it's easier to hit subscribe, just do it. But you've got to just make sure you've pre-done dinner. Make sure you've got 6 hours, snacks, tissues, an emotional support, friend, message me while you're doing it. We'll do a watch party. That'll be great. So I think you will find it utterly amazing, and you are going to squeal like a giggly Nova Scotian girl with the Anne of Green Gables, because it's really sweet, those references.
Awesome.
When they have the Nova Scotian player in the books. So that wraps up 2025 reads, and we want to do at the end of every one of our pods where we've got a challenge for each other. I think I've been pretty clear. You're in your ice hockey era, girl. I love you for this. You won't regret it. They're so delicious. That's my challenge. I need to talk to you about it because it has become my whole personality. The things that have now become catch cries, you will know what a stupid Canadian wolf bird is as a result of this series. So yes, my challenge, you need the game changers. You need to know who Scott Hunter is. You need to know Shane and Ilya.
Okay. Well, yours is, I think you do need to read 3 Juliets. And because I think, given some of your rural romance, looking at some of the history of different parts of it, I think even though it's not a romance as such, I think it has some gorgeous storytelling about Australia.
Nice.
Woven in. I think she just does such a beautiful job that it's not until you're part way through that you realise, oh my God, and it, I think that'll be really cool for your own storytelling, for some of your stories.
Lovely. When you framed it around the dresses and the era, it's just taking me back when I got to interview former queens and princesses of the Stanmore People and Grape. and how they chose their festival gala dresses, and
yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking, yes, because it was a lot of it. It was people are reading the magazines, like they're reading Australian Women's Weekly to get what's in fashion and what am I going to wear now, and that there's a lot of that in this story, and but how she comes up with some of the things is, it's stunning. So I think you'll love that too. I'd love to hear your take on it, on what you think.
Excellent. Minnie Darke,
cool.
3 Juliets. So thank you for listening, and we're going to be talking to you again soon.